Good evening, everyone. I am now here in California. Finally made it. And when I flew into Los Angeles International Airport, I got the opportunity to see the whole city in the sky. And it just brought a flood of memories back because this is the place where I lived and where I work. And I'm referencing to Southern California. But to see the whole city was just very nostalgic, and it just made me very happy to be back home, to drive then on the freeway and to see the signs that I'm used to looking at all the time. Then I'm driving and I see Santa Monica, to see the beach of Malibu and the place that I worked. It was just very nice to be back home. And again, these memories came back up. And automatically for me, I just started to reflect back on my life. And the first thing that came up for me was just remembering the randomness of my life. And I just remember when I was going and experiencing my life, because I did so many different things, I couldn't connect the dots and it didn't make sense. My experience and my life here in the United States was so random. I mean, living in San Diego, then I got my degree in communications. I worked in public relations and advertising for a fitness company. And then I transitioned to working as a realtor and selling houses. Then I became a licensed and marriage and family therapist, to working as a dancer, like I always share, just hip hop, modern, ballet, and I love the entertainment world. Then moving to Malibu to work with substance abuse, having my own private practice, seeing different clients. Always then being interested in the spirituality aspect, always seeking for truth. And for myself is any time that I had free time, I would always go to the bookstore. I would listen to self-help audiobooks. I would read self-help books. I would pursue more training regarding therapy, and I would train here in Los Angeles in Gestalt therapy. But these are the kind of things that I was involved in, besides my hobbies of surfing, traveling, and doing random things. But I remember throughout my whole process, I always worked hard, but in each phase of my life, I remember always questioning of, how does this make sense? I don't know why I'm here at this moment. I don't know why I have the kind of interests that I have. I don't know why I would surround myself with the types of people that I surrounded myself. And I would always reflect and try to make sense of it. Like, how does a hip hop dancer with a therapist who's interested in deep truths and deep conversation, how does that all make sense? But for me now, coming back here to the United States and Los Angeles here for the first time, and being here as a Buddhist monk, it now makes sense. So for me, I wanted to take this opportunity to share some feedback or advice that may be helpful to anyone who may be feeling lost or confused or stuck and not understanding, or their life not making sense to them in this moment. You may feel that I don't know where I'm going to go next. I don't know why I'm here. But I wanted to take this opportunity to share 3 things that may be helpful to someone who is in this space. Not knowing is normal. And the quote that comes to my mind is one from Steve Jobs. And he stated that you can't connect the dots looking forward, You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your guts, destiny, life, karma, whatever. But for me, this quote is so true because many times in our life when we're trying to look forward, we can guess, we can set goals, we can put an idea and an image in our heads, but who knows if it's going to go that way. And we can put this hypothesis out there and take action and hopefully get there, but it's not guaranteed. But the only sure time that we can be truly accurate in this hypothesis is when we have passed it. So we don't have a map looking forward. We don't have this crystal ball. So for myself, I would say that just know that those who are feeling unsure or feeling stuck and you're not confident of what the future holds or looks like, this is normal. We haven't passed it yet. So take the time to honor this space and just know that this is part of the process. Come back to the present moment. When we're in this space and we're unsure of our life, of course, it's going to cause us anxiety. It's going to cause us stress. And for me, I can relate to this. And I'll just share a very personal story. But after I finished my master's in counseling, for us is in order to become a licensed marriage and family therapist, you have to do your 3,000 hours, and this is in California. After that, then you have to take 2 exams, law and ethics exam, and then the second one is the bigger one. This test for me was so challenging, and it was difficult to the point where I failed it 3 times. And when you fail the big test, each time you have to wait 1 more year to take it again. And I would do my best to study as hard as I can. And the test is so difficult because the wording is so strange. And it had like these, I don't know, psychological tricks or something, but it's not direct. And for someone like me and who's not strong at test taking, it just kind of threw me off, and to the point where I'm like, I don't know how I can study any more different. And then I kept doing it over and over. I kept failing it. And at that time, I was working at my agency, and I kept working up the ranks, and I was the lead therapist. And being in this position, I was managing about 19 clinicians. And many of them started to get their hours. They started to pass their exam. And I just felt so stuck in this place. The kids I love, the people I love, the experience I love. But after you've been here for about 7 years, 8 years, your mind starts to wander. You start to want to expand your experience. Things get mundane, you want to do different things, and that's where I was. And being in this space for me was quite embarrassing because I would always feel bad that I couldn't pass this exam. At times, I would compare myself to my friends and I would see them moving on, and I again just felt stuck. And it just created a lot of suffering for myself until one day I said, you know what, this is not working. And I'm here because I'm here. And I need to, again, take the test in the future, and I'll continue to prepare for it, and I'll continue to do my best. But in this moment, I can't live in this anxiety and this suffering. So let me honor it and let me then change my experience. And instead of feeling stuck, I had to shift my mindset and said, what can I control and what can I do? If it's not time to move forward, then let me fill in the gaps. And in this present moment, or at that present moment, for me, then I decided with this platform that I had, let me start to train the staff in the agency. Let me start to do trainings and train the clinicians and the therapists that we had. So I started to do more trainings regarding burnouts, regarding conflict resolution, regarding how to effectively work with the teens, teen boys and teen girls. But these were the things that I put my focus on. Then I continue to get more experience, and that's when I came here to Los Angeles and I pursued Gestalt therapy. I did my trainings in person and just kept learning more. I reached out to all the universities in Southern California and asked to speak at psychology classes, psychology clubs, but I wanted to get my public speaking skills, my ability to teach and communicate, and let's get that up. I took the time, instead of feeling stuck, then let me work on my physical health. Then with that time, because I was working at the group home and we have the luxury of staying with them, then I would take my boys and we would go to the gym. We would process there. We would educate regarding health. I would also work out outside on my own as well. Then regarding my finances, I started to take care of that. And this was where I put my energy and my focus, because I said, you know what can I control? And what I can control is just what I have in front of me. An analogy that stands out to me is like the developmental stages for life. When you are 9 years old and you want to be 21, I mean, you're not 21. So as a 9-year-old, you have limitations. So you take care of what 9-year-olds do. Go to school, make your friends, do what you need to do at that time. When you're 18 and you're going to transition, handle your business as the 18-year-old. Don't move so much and put your mind so much in the future. If you're 30, do what you have to do with what you have in that moment. But I think many times we can get very stuck. We can put that pressure on ourselves, and then we forget that this present moment is the thing that is setting the foundation for later. And many times a lot of people are so focused on the future and they get stuck in there that they don't take care of this present moment. And this present moment is the thing that is going to set you up for the future. As again, the 9-year-old, what you do as a 9-year-old is going to set you up for later. What you do as the 18-year-old, get all your ducks in a row, get them all lined up, and it's gonna set you up for future. So anyone who feels stuck or confused and you're not sure yet, it's okay. Like I said, the first one is that it's normal, and then the second one is come back to this present moment and take care of what you can and do your best in this present moment with what you currently have. Be kind and compassionate to yourself. I remember in this space, for me, all the judgments, the being critical, the voices were just so loud. And it comes to the point where it's just not helpful. Like I said, these things are normal, but we can get caught up in this loop of negativity and judgment, and it can cripple our work. Then, like I said before, where we can't focus on the present moment because we're too stuck in the future or worried about the future, causing that anxiety. The issue of feeling stuck is already hard enough. Now when we have the extra layer, the extra pressure that we put on ourselves because of the self-talk, because of the judgment and the comparison, it can make the situation worse. So for me, is coming back to it is that, again, it's just not helpful and it's not productive for you. So if you are in this space, just understand that, again, this is normal. Be kind, be compassionate, be gentle with yourself, and that this is a phase of transition. And when you're in transition, you won't know. So with that, then again, come back to kindness. So I hope those 3 tips were helpful. Remember that this is normal. Remember to come back and focus on this present moment and do what you the best you can with this moment. And then the third one is just be kind and encouraging and supportive to yourself. And now, sitting here talking to all of you, now as a Buddhist monk, like I've always said, I've never thought that this would have been my life trajectory. And sitting here and the experience that I've had being in the monastery and being able to support so many people on their spiritual path, because we stay at a retreat center in Thailand and we have people coming from around the world, and now we're here in Los Angeles, and the people that I have been able to come across and to support them in their suffering has just been amazing, and I feel so honored. We get to meet with students who are trying to figure out what to do next. We get to meet with successful business people. We get to meet with entertainers and people who are in the arts. We get to meet with those who are travelers, those who have children, people who are dealing with grief and loss and they just lost a loved one. And we get to sit and share in this space with them. We get to meditate with them and be a container for their suffering. The experience just varies. And I remember sharing this with one of the supporter at our temple. And she told me, she said that our master mentioned that, do you know why you have always done so many different and random things and worked with so many different types of people? And for me, I did not know. And for her, she said that our teacher told us that when you're going through that kind of experience and it seems so random, it's because it's preparing you to help all types of people. And now, again, looking back and sitting here in this moment, I can see it. I don't know what life is going to hold for me. I don't know what is the next trajectory in my life, but all I know is what I can focus on is this moment, and I will do my best to continue to do my own work, continue on this spiritual path, and with whatever time and effort and energy I have, I will continue to do my best to share. But this topic is very important to me, and I just want to hold anyone out there who is experiencing this suffering very gently. And I want to speak directly to you and just take the pressure off yourself. Know that everything will be fine. You cannot connect the dots in this moment, and it's normal and it's fine and it will make sense. But in the meantime, continue to do the best you can, continue to give, continue to be a good person, continue to meditate and clean your mind so you can become a wise person, and then it will make the future or the opportunities mesh and connect so much easier. So here we are now in Southern California, and I hope this is helpful to anyone who is struggling out there. But as always, I want to send you all my blessings, and may you all be happy, safe, and healthy. Satu.